All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, we're gonna get started here in just a second. I'm just gonna set up my camera here. Good. Awesome. How are we doing? Hope everybody had a nice long Thanksgiving break and got some good rest in. We're gonna go ahead and hop into our abs and core for today. So thank you for coming. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start with some knee hugs. So we're gonna reach down, bring our knee up, and pull the knee up to the chest, stretching in the back side of the leg here. Now go ahead, try and keep that balance, straighten out that back as you come up, bring the knee to the chest. We got a few more here. Last one. Good. Okay. Now we got our hamstring sweep. So we're going to bring our foot out in front of us, pointing the toes upward, up off the ground. We're going to reach our hands back behind the hips and keep the arms extended all the way out as we slowly sweep through, reaching all the way up to the ceiling and restarting. You really want to get all the way up through that sweep. So not stopping halfway. We're going to switch sides here and really sweeping all the way through the back side of that leg. Good. Okay. Now we're going to get a wide stance here. Our feet out, a couple feet outside of your hip. And we're just going to bend one knee and drop the hip down. So we're getting a nice side lunge, nice stretch right onto the inner part of the thigh, into that groin there. We're just gonna go back and forth here for about 10 more seconds, just really starting to get low. Getting our breathing right. Opening up the hips. Okay, I like to give a little hip circle as we finish things off. Other directions. Get everything nice and warm. Get a couple of pops and cracks there. All right, now we're gonna come down onto one knee. Let's start with our left leg forward. We're gonna go into a forward lunge here. So we're gonna drive that front knee forward, out over the toe, really trying to stretch into that right hip flexor here. So you should be feeling it all along the front side. You can't see my side, but you should be feeling on the front side of that leg there, right in front of the hip. We'll go back and in again. And back. One more. Then. Good. Okay, go ahead and switch sides. All right, so driving that right knee forward, out over the toe. Should be feeling that right in here on that front side of the hip. Nice deep breaths. Pushing out, back in, back out, in. One more. Good. All right. Last part of our warm-up here. We're going to flip over onto our back for some glute bridge holds. So we're going to lay flat on our back, knees bent, heels flat on the floor. We're going to drive the hips straight up to the ceiling and hold for about 5 seconds. Really trying to push all the way up off the shoulders, getting those hips up and back down. We'll go up again. You should feel one whole line of connection from the shoulders through the hips to the knees, and then pressing off the floor back down and up. Good. We'll go one more here, down and up. Nice, really pressing off the ground, keeping those hips up, starting to wake up that back and those hips a little bit, okay? All right, so first thing we're gonna do, we've got our T-twists. So you're gonna sit up in a nice tall position here. Bring your hands out wide, and we're gonna twist the hands back and down behind us for 30 seconds here. Twisting back and forth, switching hands, rotating at a nice even speed, twisting, getting those side abdominal oblique muscles. Keeping those shoulders pulled back, torso nice and tall, and rest. All right, next up we have our bike crunches. So we're gonna lay flat on our back, feet and legs out straight, hands up behind the head, and we're gonna twist as we come up, bringing our right knee to our left elbow, left knee to our right elbow, and we're just gonna go at a nice even pace here for another 30. Really finding a good pace to where you can work for the full 30 seconds. That's what's most important here. You don't want to get so tired so fast and you can't finish the workout. So just find a good pace for you and keep going, and we're resting. All right, next up, we have our shoulder taps. So we're gonna go flip over into our plank position, hands below the shoulders, feet come back, knees off the ground. You can spread your feet out for some stability here. And you're gonna bring your right arm up to your left shoulder, left arm to right shoulder, switching back and forth, finding a good pace. What I want you guys to be careful of is shifting your hips too much to one side. Try and keep your torso and your hips locked into place. As you pick your hand up, that's where the stability challenge comes from. A couple more seconds here. And rest. Good. All right. Now we're going to go into a knee push-up, okay? We're going to go nice and slow, controlling this movement here. So we're going to have our knees down, feet crossed, hands right below the shoulder. When we come down, we want to fold the elbows down to the ribs. We're going nice and slow, real slow pace. Nose down to the ground, pushing back up. We're going to work for about 30 seconds here. Really feel the stability of your shoulders, the weight of your body being pushed away with your hands. Think about what your body's doing and try and control it. A few more. Last one. Nice. Good job. All right. Now we have our 30-second plank. So we're going to bring our forearms down to the ground. Knees are going to come up for this one. So popping the knees up, you're going to keep your hips flat with your shoulders, and you're going to push your body away from the ground with your elbows. Keeping your back nice and tabletop, core nice and flat. And we're going to hold here for about 30 seconds. About 15 more. Nice, good work. Same thing, think about what your body's doing. And here we're not moving very much, but not moving is just as important as moving when you're exercising. And stop. Okay, so that's our first circuit. We're gonna go one more time through. So let's get our feet flat on the ground, knees bent. In an upright seated position, we're gonna bring our arms out wide, twisting and bringing that hand down to the ground. You can start to lean back a little bit, give yourself a little bit more of a challenge, or you can pick the feet up off the ground and try and keep them from swaying back and forth, side to side. Nice and controlled, really trying to stabilize the movement here while tucking those hips in, keeping the chest up, and rest. Down to the ground, laying flat on your back, legs and feet straight out, hands behind the head. You're gonna crunch up and bring your right elbow, left knee, twisting, alternating sides of opposite sides. Good. Keep going, guys. About 10 more seconds. Two, one. Good. All right. Now we're flipping over for our shoulder taps. So let's go ahead and bring your hands right underneath your shoulders. Hands, fingers, nice and spread, flat on the ground. You're bringing the knees up, feet a little bit wide, and you're gonna alternate side to side. Right arm, left arm to the opposite shoulder for 30 seconds. Try and keep those hips locked in with the shoulder so we're not swaying too much or moving too much. Really work the stability that we've got. And down. Okay, now we're going into push-ups. Okay, so knees down to the ground. Remember, we're going nice, slow, and in control here. Really give your muscles a chance to activate. So we're going to fold the elbows down to the ribs, pointing back to the hips, nose down to ground, and push up. We're going nice. 1, 2, 3, 4 pace as we push back up and come down. Nice and slow in that 4-second down. Good. Let's get a few more in here. And rest. Okay. Now we're putting our forearms down to the ground. We've got our plank. 30 seconds here. So get those feet back, knees up. We're popping up, getting our hips and shoulders in a line, back nice and flat, pressing the body away from the ground with the forearms. Really trying to lock those shoulders in, get them nice and strong here. Nice, even deep breaths. Really work those core. Suck that belly button up towards the spine. And rest. Good. All right. So now we're going to start our second circuit here. The first thing we've got is mountain climbers. So back into that plank position. We're going to get our hands directly beneath our shoulders. We're going to bring the knees up, popping up into a plank, and we're driving the knees to the chest at a quick, hot foot pace, like you got some embers right at your heel, and you got to keep your feet off those hot coals, driving those knees up, hot, fat pace, fast pace, fast pace. Couple more seconds here. Keep driving, and rest. Good. Knees down, little rock back, stretch out the shoulders. We're gonna lay down on our mat, with our hands directly out in front of us. We have Superman's Actually, we're gonna bring the elbows a little bit down towards the side. So you got a nice 90-degree angle from your shoulder out to your hands, not straight out, but just a little bit bent, excuse me. Okay, so here we are, Supermans. We're gonna pop up, hands and feet come up, pinching the shoulders back, elbows down to those hips. We're gonna hold. And down, back up, pinching those shoulders together, pulling those elbows down to the hips, opening up the front of that shoulder, hands getting pulled up all the way to the ceiling, down, up. Down, one more, up. Pulling those elbows to the hips, heels to the back of your head, shoulders pinching back, and down. Nice job. Okay, next up, we have our dead bug. So we're flipping over onto our back. We're gonna bring the knees up into the air, feet and heels into the air, hands on top of the knees. And we're gonna extend our left leg out and right leg back, or right hand back. So opposite side, and you're alternating for 30 seconds. Good. Giving just a slight tap to the ground with that hand and the heel and coming straight back up. Good. Again, controlling the movement, not going too fast, not going too slow. Got a few more seconds here. And rest. Good. Okay. Next up, we have our leg lifts. So laying flat on your back, hips can go underneath, or hands can go underneath the hips. Sorry. For a little bit more leverage, we're going to bring the feet straight up into the air and nice and in control, slow back down. Up, quick, and in control, slow back down. Heels don't touch the floor, and we're coming up. Don't let those heels touch. Come back up. As soon as you feel them hit the ground, bring those feet back up. Nice. A few more seconds. And rest. Nice. All right. Now we're going to finish off 20 seconds of a side plank on each side. So you're going to get your elbow underneath your shoulder here. Legs coming straight out. You're going to pop those hips up off the ground and hold. Getting that nice, tight side core here, working those obliques. Really pressing off the ground. Got about 5 more seconds. And we're going to switch sides and switch. Good. Keep those hips up. You can bring your feet, you can spread your feet apart. A little bit more stability, or always bring the knees down. Or a different variation. 2, 1, and down. All right, next thing we got is back to the top. We're gonna go with our last set of mountain climbers. So 30 seconds here. We're gonna get our hands underneath our shoulders, feet come back, popping the knees up, and we're driving the knees up to the chest at a quick pace, like we got those embers at our toes. You can't keep them there for too long. Hot ground, gotta pop those knees up to the chest. Let's go halfway. Got about 10 more seconds. Go, 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 keep going. And rest. Good. Next up, we have our...
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. It looks like an issue with the router and Echo.
Sorry about that. Amazon Echo getting in the way of things. Next up, we got our Superman. So laying flat on the ground, hands out in front. You're off to the side, sorry, 90 degrees at the elbows. We're popping up, pulling the elbows down to the hips, pitching the shoulder blades together, getting those hands up to the ceilings, and feet curling back to the head, down, and back up, down, and up, down. Let's go a few more here. Up, pulling those heels to the back of the head, elbows down to the hips, hands up to the ceilings, shoulder blades together, down, last one, up, and down, good. Next, we got our dead bugs. So flipping over onto our back, bring the feet up off the ground, knees up in the air, hands on our knees. We're gonna bring our left leg back, right hand back, and alternate our opposite sides. Just barely tapping the ground. As soon as you feel your hand and heel tap the ground, go ahead and bring it straight back up again, just like you're touching a bed of coals. Can't let it sit there for too long. Got a few more seconds here. And rest. Okay, next up we have our leg lifts. So feet straight out in front, legs straight. Bring your hands slightly underneath the hips, and we're gonna come straight up into the air. Nice and slow back down. Easy back down. Have a heel tap and just come straight back up. Tap and up. Let's go about 15 more seconds. Keep going at the last little bit here. Get that last little bit of work in. And last one, rest. Good, okay. Finishing up our circuits, we have 40 seconds of side plank, split up to two sides, so 20 seconds each. All right, feet out in front, popping those hips up, getting our elbow beneath the shoulder, and we are up and going. I like to get my hand up above my shoulder here if I can, or down on the hip. Makes me a little bit more aware of how much I'm tilting if I'm favoring one side or the other here on my side plank. Go ahead and switch sides. Nice and strong, last 10 seconds here. Staying up and down. Nice job, everyone. Feel free to grab some water if you want. We're going to finish out with some light stretching. And it is hot in this living room right now. I'm sweating. Okay, so we're going to bring left leg forward for our lunge and reach. So we're going to come up with our left hand. So you see my left leg is forward, my right knee is down, and I'm just twisting my left hand up towards the ceiling, trying to get a nice spread line between my planted hand and my reaching hand. So feel that connection as you kind of spread the shoulders apart, pushing yourself away from the ground. And come back down. We're going to reach underneath that elbow, so we'll thread the needle and twist up. Pushing your body away with that grounded hand, reaching the hand up to the ceiling. And we're going to come back down. One more. Twisting up. Should feel a nice stretch in the front of that hip flexor, a little bit into the back as well. And switch sides. So we're going to bring our right foot forward here. Our left foot's going to, or left hand, is going to come down. We're going to reach our right arm through and come up, pushing our body away, dropping the hips down and reaching this hand up towards the ceiling. Really stretching, getting a nice tall line connected through the shoulders. I'm gonna come down and up. Good. One more on this side. Down and up. Good. And back. All right. Now we're going to get a true thread the needle here. So we're going to go down to hands and knees. And we're just going to bring our left arm underneath our body, dropping that left shoulder down to the ground, getting a nice stretch, kind of using our body to pull that shoulder away from the spine. Get a good stretch through the mid back there. And then we're going to come up and again, twist. And we'll go back down, laying down on that shoulder, pulling the shoulder away from the spine. You shift your hips a little bit over to the left, popping up, and twisting. We'll go one more on this side. And up. Go ahead, switch sides. Last stretch here. Coming down to the floor, getting that shoulder on the ground, starting to pull the spine away, falling down onto that shoulder, coming up, twisting, and back down. There it is. And back up. One more. And back up. Good. All right. Sometimes I like to finish things off my workouts with just a couple nice deep breaths. So get in a seated position if you'd like. I'm just going to be kneeling here, but we're just going to go one breath in. And exhale out. Nice, deep, long breath. One more. Quick breath in. Hold and exhale. Nice, deep, long breath. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming. Hope you had a great workout and enjoyed it. Don't forget, I'm also teaching abs and core on Thursdays at 4 o'clock as well. And I have a Wednesday boot camp at noon and my first Functional Fitness Friday class this Friday at noon, which I'm super excited about. I hope to see you there. We also have our stretch breaks at 11 every day for 10 minutes. Great way to stay movement oriented and keep movement on the front of the brain every day. So yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. I'll see you next time.
Thanks, Quinn.
Yeah, no problem, Dan.